ONE FC heavyweights are trash. Actual garbage. Oh, Anatoly Mocklin, bro. That guy's. I don't give a about Mikey Musumini. Oh, whoa. John Lineker versus Kim Jae-won. Oh, man. No way. Fabricio Andrade beats anyone in the UFC bantamweight? No, not even close. Not even close. Okay, we have ONE FC's biggest guzzler in the chat. Big meaty hooks. Big meaty hooks. I'm throwing big meaty hooks all damn night. Throwing big meaty hooks. Big meaty hooks. Big meaty hooks. I'm throwing big meaty hooks all damn night. Throwing big meaty hooks.
The biggest, meatiest hooks.
Bro, if the UFC wants to compete with ONE in Asia, they can't be putting on these cards when ONE puts on banger after banger every week, sometimes twice a week. Banger after banger? Wait a second. I didn't know ONE was putting on better cards than this. Straight up, like, listen, ONE FC has probably put on a card that's at best on par with this, maybe 2 times in their entire fucking career of having ONE FC. All right. Bangers. Like, dude, I like ONE FC, but let's chill the fuck out. Like, they're not, dude, ONE FC heavyweights, the top heavyweights in ONE FC aren't as hype as watching Parker Porter and Junior Tafa, straight up 100%. Junior Tafa versus Parker Porter is more exciting than a ONE FC heavyweight fight, no matter what heavyweight fight you're going to bring up. I don't even care. 100%. ONE FC heavyweights are trash. Actual garbage. Same with Parker Porter. Parker Porter and ONE FC would be like a top 5 heavyweight. Just straight up. 100%. Not even fucking close. Rod Tang versus Super Light card's going to be fire. Is it going to be fire, though, or is just the freaking main event going to be fire? Like, this is the thing about ONE FC. They'll have like 3 good fights at the top of the main card. ONE FC can have good fights. ONE FC can have good fights. Like, this is what I mean. When you're saying banger after banger every week, like, okay, well, what that means is that every week ONE FC has a card that looks like a banger on paper, right? Okay, because that's usually how we judge a card. Of course, there are plenty of UFC fight nights that look like shit that end up being pretty fucking fun because they're good fights. We're talking about what's on paper, all right? Is it a good card? What are the names looking like? ONE FC does not put on many cards like this, bro. This is not even a standard UFC fight night. It's actually a pretty decent UFC fight night. To say ONE FC is that much... Oh, Anatoly Mocklin, bro. That guy's ass cheeks. He wouldn't even be a top 5 heavyweight in the UFC. Not even close, bro. This dude is straight up like, you know, smoking cans out there. Like, what are the ONE FC guys? 5'10" bodybuilders that in the heavyweight division. These are the guys that we're talking about. That, bro, they're not even that good. I like ONE FC. I'm just not guzzling them down. I'm not just getting on my knees trying to act like a contrarian. Oh, ONE FC. I can't believe the UFC is going to want to compete with them. ONE FC's out here. Like, ONE FC is not competition to the UFC right now. At this point, you're just trolling? No, I'm not just getting on my knees for any other promotion that's not the UFC to try to freaking act like I'm a super hardcore fan. Like, bro, ONE FC's cheeks compared to UFC. It's good. I like ONE FC. It's cheeks compared to the UFC. All right. Listen, if you're in Asia and like the cards are on at the right time, 100%, like it could be fun to watch. But let's look at these ONE FC cards. These are all like Muay Thai fights, which again probably is really entertaining. But I'm not gonna look at the Muay Thai ones. I'm gonna compare it to MMA. Here it is. Here's the last one. Mikey Musumini versus Jared Brooks was the co-main event. Literally shit. I don't give a fuck about Mikey Musumini. He's an absolute nerd. I don't give a fuck about that guy. All right, that guy's boring as hell. Like, oh, dude, Mikey Musumini. Oh yeah, I'm not even into jiu-jitsu like that, homie. Okay. Let's see. Then we had Tawan Chai versus David Korea. That's kickboxing, though. Like, kickboxing's sick, dude. Kickboxing's cool. I'm not even going to try to act like it isn't. I'm looking at the MMA fights. John Lineker versus Kim Jae-won. Oh, whoa. John Lineker versus Kim Jae-won. Oh, man. Damn, dude. John Lineker used to be in the UFC. Whoa, bro. No way. Versus who? Oh, dude, that Kim Jae-won, bro. That guy's a legend, man. Kim Jae-won is a legend, bro. Listen, John Lineker is entertaining, all right? Who the fuck is Kim Jae-won? All right? Are you literally going to sit here and tell me that John Lineker and Kim Jae-won, which is the best MMA fight on that ONE FC card, is actually decent? Oh, and then here's the heavyweight fight. Omar Khan, he's the guy from Senegal, versus Marcus Almeida. Horrible fight. I was literally watching this card. Horrible fight. Boring as hell. Like, these are the people that are competing with the UFC? Are you kidding me? I get it. Demetrius Johnson's last card was on par with this. It was. It was on par with this. It was no better. That's the thing. Even a Demetrius Johnson card, the biggest MMA fight that ONE FC can put on is on par with Max Holloway and Korean Zombie in Singapore, which is cool. It's like a good card. But don't be out here saying it's better than the UFC. How is the UFC going to compete when the average card is like the biggest fight is John Lineker and Kim Jae-woong, which is like, you know, mid-tier. Like, people are straight up hard. You have these fucking fans that try to act so hardcore. They're like, bro, John Lineker's literally your fucking best bantamweight on the planet. What are you talking about? You know, that shit pisses me off, bro. Like, bro, I get it. ONE FC's cool. I like ONE FC. The UFC's not worrying about ONE FC passing them up. Kim Jong. It wasn't him, dude. John Lineker's literally the best bantamweight in the planet. Oh, because Lineker's taller than you and chinned you and sparked. Oh my gosh. Like, bro, Lineker is literally a average run-of-the-mill ranked bantamweight in the 2010 era. Straight up. He's like a 2018 bantamweight in the UFC. The bantamweight division is 100 times better now. You know what I mean? The bantamweight division has probably evolved more than any of these other divisions, if anything. Lineker wasn't even that close to the belt back then. You know what I mean? Put him in the bantamweight division today, he's not even ranked. Swear to God. And these are the freaking killers in ONE FC that are getting this much hype. Like, ONE FC's decent. Bro, UFC literally made a road to UFC and Singapore cards just to try to compete with ONE. I'm sure they are trying to compete with ONE, but ultimately, like, listen, if your argument is the UFC can't compete with ONE because they're only going to Asia like twice a year, then I agree. Like, sure, bro, the Asian fans are going to be able to go to ONE FC events more often. But ultimately, if you're an MMA fan, the UFC is where it's at, and there's no competition right now. Fabricio Andrade beats anyone in the UFC bantamweight? No, not even close. Not even close does Fabricio Andrade beat anyone in the bantamweight division. Couldn't be less true. I've literally seen him fight multiple times. Yes, he does. Bro, he literally couldn't even finish John Lineker. John Lineker's actually mid-tier. Wouldn't even be ranked in the UFC. Couldn't even finish John Lineker in his last fight. Couldn't even finish him, bro. And then the first fight, bro, he's good. He's good. But, like, bro, you're acting like the average bantamweight in the UFC wouldn't absolutely decimate and style on John Lineker, too. Yes, I watched the entire fight. I watched the rematch. I watched their first fight. I watched both of the Andrade and Lineker fights. They were good fights, like good fights, 100%. When John Lineker's smacking you up throughout like a good portion of the rematch, smacking you up, and he's an old man John Lineker, it's not that impressive. Fabricio Andrade would literally get smoked by everyone that's even close to the top 5 in the UFC. Stop. Smokes O'Malley? Oh, better striker. Why? He's a better striker because he looks flashy against John Lineker, huh? Dude, my initial thought while watching Fabricio Andrade versus Lineker 2, and I thought about this in like the second round. I was like, bro, this guy's overrated. Like, he's not as good as people think he is. He's a decent striker, but it's because he's like fucking up bantamweights that are in ONE FC that aren't that high level. And don't get me wrong, ONE FC is good fighters. Like, these guys are good fighters, but you're comparing them to the UFC, and it's just, you're wrong. You're just straight up wrong. If Fabricio Andrade were to come into the UFC, I'm telling you this right now, he wouldn't be in the top 5. He would be lucky to be in the top 10. He might even lose to Cheeto. That'd be a good fight for him. Him and Cheeto be very competitive. Because he probably would outstrike Cheeto by a little bit, but I bet Cheeto could tag him. Lineker doesn't hit harder than Cheeto. That's actual bullshit. That's actual bullshit. He doesn't hit harder. That's a narrative that I don't like either. Lineker's the hardest hitter. Not even close. Not even close, dude. Why does Lineker hit harder? Oh, because his hands of steel. His hands of steel Lineker. Yeah, I don't care if he's hands of steel Lineker. He doesn't hit harder. Bro, Lineker hits hard against like washed up tomato cans. Like, dude, Lineker hits hard 100%, but he's the hardest hitter against like tomato cans in ONE FC at the bottom of the barrel up until he gets the ranked opponent, and he's not knocking guys out like that. Bro, Lineker got styled on by Corey Sandhagen when Corey Sandhagen was a fucking tadpole, bro. If Lineker was really that amazing and dynamite, then why the hell did he get cut, my man? Like, these are UFC rejects. He went to a bigger... Okay, we have ONE FC's biggest guzzler in the chat. Bro, I like ONE FC, but you're straight up delusional if you think it's better than the UFC. No one dreams of being a ONE FC champion. I'm just going to let you know. No one dreams of being ONE FC champ. Everyone dreams of being a UFC champ. They go to ONE FC when their plan A doesn't work. Have you seen the stats? They have more viewers. I don't care about the stats. I'm just saying they're not competing with the UFC in terms of MMA. And, everyone can talk about the stats, the viewers. I think those are skewed. Like, everyone uses social media. Where's ONE FC at on Instagram? How many followers do they have? I know they're on Facebook too. Facebook is land of the dinosaurs. So let's look at the IG. The UFC has 37.5 million. 37.6. ONE FC has 7.9. Okay, so you're trying to tell me that a ONE FC with 7.9 million followers on Instagram is just, hitting it out of the park and exceeding the UFC at 37.6. It's not even close. If your argument is, bro, people in Asia don't even use Instagram, bullshit. Everyone does. Way bigger than you think, kid. I understand that ONE FC is big. I understand that it is, but this guy's saying it's bigger and better than the UFC and UFC can't compete, which is absolutely horseshit.